that moment on, looking for something to take me into the race, something like Brave Prince, who I think is probably the main danger in the race. He's a grey horse, so I'll be looking out for him, and I think there'll be quite a bit of speed in the race with a horse called Danasaria, who led up the Guineas the other day here at Caulfield. But he's an exciting horse, and whatever he does today, he'll certainly improve on for the Victorian Derby.
Well, Darren told you that the horse he thought was the hardest to beat is Brave Prince. I think Brave Prince will win the race. Mick Dittman rides Brave Prince, and a short time ago, Simon Marshall had a chat with Mick.
With me, I have the enforcer, Mick Dittman. You're riding Brave Prince in race 4.
Yeah, Simon. Well, he's he's got a nice bit of form behind him in good company. This is his first time to Melbourne, and this is his best test, I suppose, or his biggest test. But he's a nice horse. He's an improver. And he's, his Derby's his main mission, so if he's got a chance in the Derby, he's going to have to run very well in this.
Thanks, Mick.
Pleasure.
I hope he runs particularly well, because I've got my cash on him. Let's have a look at the latest tote prices. Number 1, Tie the Knot, is at $4.20, almost 3 1/4 to 1. 15 to 1 now for Denisaria, one of the controversial runners of last week's Guineas. Suaviti at 12 to 1, 25 to 1 second coming. Caretaker at 50 to 1. Brave Prince $3.20 on the tote, odds of 9 to 4. Prince Stand In is an 11 to 1 chance, 7.5 to 1 for the Lee Freedman trained Calistair. Spying is at $5.60, out to 9 to 2. 25 to 1 Just Beat It, and almost 60 to 1 for the Hind. Okay, as we look across to the 2,000 metres, the horses haven't quite gone in. There's Brave Prince with Mick Dittman up. Simon Marshall, what do you think of the look of them all?
Well, Kenny, I'll tell you what, we've got some nice horse flesh around the barriers here. I'll tell you one that looks very well from the Matthew Highland camp, Suavity. He won very well over 18 at Flemington last start. But Tie the Knot, well, he's a very seasoned customer. He's nice and relaxed and looks very well behind the gates. Brave Prince, he's a lovely looking animal. He's very forward also. And also Calistair, the grey from Lee Freedman stable. He's nice and relaxed and looks very fit. But by geez, I'd like to be... I wouldn't mind being on this roughy Suavity, Kenny.
Okay, Simon, Suavity's the horse you like. Now what about Simon and Shane? What do you boys think?
Oh, look, Ken, I'm not changing my mind from Tie the Knot, but I do agree with Simon Marshall that when they were going around the mounting yard here, having a close look, there wasn't a horse you could fault. They're all forward, they're all fit, they look great in the coat. I think this is going to be a very tight race.
Shane, what would you like to ride?
I can't split the 3 Sydney horses in Brave Prince, Tie the Knot and Spying. I think Brave Prince has got the right barrier and he's going to get a good run, which may help him. But in saying that, Tie the Knot will be running midfield anyway through a good barrier.
How do you think Mick will ride Brave Prince? Where do you think they'll be?
Well, he hasn't got a lot of early pace, Brave Prince, and he'll probably race just in front of Tie the Knot. I'm sure they'll go along a bit with Denisaria. They couldn't stop it last week, but there's been gear changes today which may help it. But they'll still run along pretty quick, Ken.
Okay, well, as we see them there, they're starting to go into the barrier. Brave Prince to take his position. There's Tie the Knot going forward for Darren Beedman. Those colours, Tie the Knot of the Tate family, they've been carried by some great gallopers. Heirloom, Cabochon, Baguette, what a great horse he was. And they're no strangers to saluting at the finish of Group 1 races. The Norman Robinson Stakes, incidentally, is a listed race. And if you're not too sure of racing terms, there's Groups 1, 2 and 3 down the line, and then the next group, really a Group 4, are the listed events. They're usually good fields.
Yes, they certainly are good fields, and today's no exception. This is a very important lead up into the Victorian Derby, this race, and horses like Tie the Knot, Denisaria, Suavity, when there's a number of them, particularly Brave Prince, they're the ones that trainers are looking for to go on and take the Group 1 Victorian Derby.
The Spying Strawn barrier, 12, Ken, or 11 now with the scratchings, but I don't think it'll worry because he'll be able to put him where he wants, Glenn Boss, and it might be an advantage because he'll go a bit forward on the horse.
Yeah, he's the improver in the race, isn't he?
Yes, definitely the improver, and he's the one to watch out for a Victorian Derby in 2 weeks' time.
Okay, they're all in. Here's John Russell for race 4.
Line is good. Set. Should go. Off. Good start in the Norman Robinson. One of the first to jump out, Tie the Knot with Brave Prince, who got away well. Showing out towards the centre of the line there was Suavity, going up quickly with second coming, looking for the early lead, and the Western Australian going forward in a hurry is Caretaker. As they commence the run up the hill now, second coming is the leader in company with Caretaker, dropping in behind them Suavity. Over on the inside, Denisaria, length further back is Calistair, and they were followed closely on the outside. Just Beat It has gone up very quickly in search of the lead. It's a hectic affair early in the piece now. as they climb the hill. 1400 to go, and Just Beat It takes the lead by a length and a half. Second coming. Caretaker now over on the inside third, followed by Carla Stair. Just in behind them, Suavity. On the rails next, Dennis Fury. A length and a half to Brave Prince, being followed by Prince Standana. A bit further back is Tie the Knot over on the inside, going over the top of the hill, followed by Spying, and the hind is last of all at the 1100 metre point. And here's a good go for the lead, where Carla Stair swept around them to take over as they race onto the railway side, and Carla Stair booted out to lead by a length and a half. Second coming. Third is Just Beat It, 1 length away Caretaker, a length and a half to Suavity on the outside of Dennis Uria. Brave Prince is in behind them, being followed by Prince Standan. Further back, Tie the Knot, followed by Spying, and the hind is last of all. They're on the railway side at the 900 metre mark. Carla Stair, about a length the second coming, followed by Caretaker. Just Beat It getting a nice run through on the inside, followed by Suavity. Then Dennis Uria. Brave Prince is in behind them, being followed by Prince Standan. On the inside, the hind is third last, followed by Tie the Knot, and Spying has got back to last as they come up past the 600 metre marker. Carla Stair being pressured for the lead at this point of the race now by second coming. Third is Caretaker. Suavity's on the outside of Dennis Uria. Just Beat It on the rails. Behind them, Brave Prince as they round the home turn, pull to the outside. Tie the Knot starting to come into the picture from a fair way back. Spying is very deep, followed by the hind, and last of all Prince Standan. But Carla Stair shot clear at the top of the straight. 250 to go. He's well clear, Carla Stair the grey. He's 2 lengths to Dennis Uria, running on pretty well. Second coming behind them. A long gap to Spying down the outside. Brave Prince is now in the clear. Tie the Knot is running on well. Carla Stair is being tackled by Dennis Uria. Brave Prince in the centre. Brave Prince is coming at them. Brave Prince on the outside. They hit the line. Brave Prince has won it from Dennis Uria. Good go for third. Tie the Knot, Carla Stair, Spying in a photo ahead of the hind. And they were followed next by second coming. Further back is Suavity, Prince Standan. Behind them then came Caretaker, and last of all Just Beat It.
A very cool ride by Mick Dittman. When they all started to go deep from the 600 to the turn, he cut back inside. A bit of a gamble, Shane, but he got the run.
Oh, fantastic ride. This is why he's been one of the greatest riders Australia's seen for the last 20 years. You see him here on the outside, Ken, the grey horse. He's showing a lot of vigour, and he gets up the last stride.
Yeah, on the rails, that's Calistair the grey. He was called the winner. Then his stablemate, Dennis Uria, got to him. In the red cap is second coming. And then Brave Prince with the enforcer. Mick Dittman dives at Dennis Uria. And boy, he's got there, but only just. And the numbers are in the frame, 6, 2 and 1.